Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/30/24. See delivery details.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
Demorne Peirson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Peirson-El, but Peirson-El has confidence in Peirson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in to Take Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, as always. Taking over, I shouldn't say as always, just wrapped up with the Husker Football Hour. You had Tom Chattel of the Omaha World Herald and Austin Norman on that one. Now we bring in the former Husker wide receiver, special teams threat, Demorne Peirson-El on the Allo VIP line, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. You guys can join in on the show as well, 402-464-5685, and you can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo channel 961. Demorne Peirson-El, how's it going on this Monday night?
It's going. It's the best Monday it could be, possibly.
Yeah, it's definitely going. I'll tell you what's not going is this Bears offense right off the gate per schedule. We got Vikings, Bears. We're going to go in order here of things that we need to talk about before the game gets too far. Then I do want to dive into Husker volleyball and Husker basketball as well. And maybe we'll even sprinkle in a little bit more Husker football. But we do got Vikings. We do got Chicago Bears. As per always on a Monday night. Demorne, give me your pick for this game. I don't think I'm going to be surprised, but just go for it.
I got the Vikings. I think the Vikings are playing at a different level, and some things have shaken out, for playoff wise and whatnot. So they definitely need to capitalize. It's a divisional opponent, and I just think it's too much for Chicago to handle.
Yeah, my heart, I'd pick the Bears if I was a betting man. If I really had to try to pick the right one, I'd pick the Vikings. The Bears there's nothing to play for other than their pride. The Vikings, they got a wild card clinched already, but at this point, they just want to get a good record as possible, maybe catch up to the Lions. The Bears, they've kind of lost their. Go for it.
I got a question for you about how long after the season is over do you think the Bears will take to hire their next head coach?
How long until? Oh, that's good. I don't know. I don't think it'll be very long at all. I'd hope it's not. I'd imagine because you fired Eberflus mid-season, something that the Chicago Bears never do. I'd hope that by the time the season ends, you already kind of know who your guys are. So I'm gonna say, hopefully like less than a month. As soon as the season ends, I want it to happen.
Who would you say is your top candidate? Like if you had to pick it any way you would want, who would be your head coach?
See, the easy answer is Ben Johnson, right? The OC for the Detroit Lions. That is one that a lot of people like just because you look at that Lions offense. They're gritty. They kind of fit the culture a little bit. Then you have guys, honestly, Bill Belichick wasn't a bad bet in my eyes just because you need a culture changer. Then you're hearing guys like Mike Vrabel. I don't know. Vrabel might be the guy you need just because the Bears are kind of what the Huskers have been. Like, they just need somebody to bring a culture and have a voice in the locker room that guys are willing to kind of latch onto and commit to, despite maybe some bumps in the road. Very similar to what Dan Campbell and the Lions have done. Like, they were able to get through the bumps in the road because the guys in the locker room really believed in the culture that Campbell was trying to build. Like, Eberflus, the locker room was done. Like, you could see that was pretty clear. Whatever culture he was selling, the guys weren't buying it. You're never going to turn a poverty franchise, which the Bears have really, truly been. You're not going to turn that around unless you get the guys to buy in. You might have to go with Vrabel, which is kind of crazy. Johnson or Vrabel? If I had to pick one, probably Vrabel.
I would say between him and Flores. Just
Flores is a good one. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
With the knowledge of understanding, one, the division, two, you coming from a place who, they play pretty well. You know what they want to do. You have an understanding of the coach. So, I mean, that would be something, interesting. I think Flores will be a hot commodity this year. I think the guy in Detroit, unless it's the right situation, I don't see him leaving. And what I mean by right situation, like a New Orleans.
Yep. Yeah, the other names, are we forgetting any big names? Like, I also don't know. Yeah, there's always coaches out there. I have heard some people say maybe they go ahead and get Kingsbury after, I think, what is he, the Commanders offensive coordinator now after his run. I mean, he had the stint with the Cardinals there, whatever you thought about it or not.
I mean, like that would make sense for, the offense. Why? But what's so enticing for Kingsbury to leave? You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, outside of a head coaching job, clearly, he likes doing, the play calling without, that's a whole lot of less stress and things that, that you don't have to worry about as a head coach. Like, he could possibly go, but I mean, if I'm him, you got Jalen Daniels, who, has his hat in the ring for, offensive rookie of the year. You got a strong defense, which, with Dan Quinn, year two or, further on down the line that can, push, you stay put for, 2 years, maybe 3 years. And I mean, the NFL is a revolving door. You can have a better situation, than that. I mean, the Commanders are easily a better, they're in a better position, a better organization, clearly new management and everything like that. I don't know if you want to take on the Bears like that. Cause I mean, you took on the Cardinals, you had some success and everything like that. And you see what happened, but the Bears aren't even the Cardinals.
Yeah. The Bears, that's what I'm saying. Like, every time I think about the Bears, you need somebody who's going to go in there and know immediately what they're going to do and just not really care about what other people have to say about it. Like, this is, like, as I'm kind of just like keeping an eye on this Bears Vikings game here at the studio, like, it just looks so bad. Like, you're just watching it over and it's the same damn mistakes. It's every, quarterback, new coach, this, that, new toys. Like, it just sucks. There's a culture issue. And there's not enough patience. So I don't know what they got to do. Some other names out there. You were hearing Marcus Freeman for a while, the Notre Dame head coach. I'm okay with that one. He kind of put that to hush, said he's not leaving Notre Dame.
He just signed a contract extension. He's not going anywhere.
No.
Like he's in a prime position to continue to make the playoffs year in and year out. As long as Notre Dame continues to be good and whatnot, I mean, they don't have to win a conference championship. They just have to win out, and you're guaranteed, right outside of the top four. So, I mean,
he's not going anywhere.
It would be smart for him. Yeah, no, not at all.
And he came out and said that. I can't remember who flirted that out there, and it wasn't fake. I mean, I think the Bears were looking at him, but it just got squashed pretty quickly that he was not going to join them. Some other names, just real quick. Here's what you think about him. Thomas Brown is there anyway. Like, he's not going to keep the job, the current interim head coach. The other guys that I'm seeing pop up here are Joe Brady, which is kind of interesting, I guess. OC for the Carolina Panthers in 2021, quarterbacks coach for the Buffalo Bills, and now the current OC for the Buffalo Bills. Not a bad one. I guess what are your thoughts on Joe Brady kind of taking over as the head coach and possibly with the Chicago Bears?
I like Joe a lot. I mean, he's been successful, at all the places that he's been to. Again, you're on a playoff team year in and year out. That half of the head coaching job is the right fit. And again, I'm not so sure with the inexperience of a guy not being a head coach. I just don't see how, the Bears would go after that. Because not only is, the ex-former head coach, out of there, now the GM, will start to be on the hot seat. So do you think he's going to take his job on an inexperienced coach no matter how hot he is? No, I'm not thinking so. So
again, that's why I think it goes to Vrabel, right? Like it's got to be.
I would say those Belichick, Vrabel, and Flores are your top candidates for a situation like Chicago.
I like Flores.
Just look what Flores did with Miami. You could say, the things about what Tua, how he handled it and everything like that. He came out, said he was wrong, he would handle things differently, but he still had Miami willing to play.
Yeah, they went 7 straight at the end of the year.
Regardless of what the situation was or whatnot, him being there got Tua paid. I understand, the Daniels came in there, on the back end of it and solidified it. But Tua was already trending towards, a good contract. So one of those two guys with Vrabel or Flores, I just think exactly what you're getting. They've been in a position before. They can make changes and, 2.0 and have things, firing on all cylinders. And they're both defensive guys. I mean, that's what they go on. And with that division, who are you facing with the Packers, with we don't know exactly what the Vikings are going to do with Sam Darnold or not Sam Darnold, but what they got there.
It's better than what you got. That's for sure.
What Detroit has, you better bring somebody, defensive scheme in there that can, take the air out of some of those guys, sails.
Yeah, I like Flores is a good pick. I'm not hearing that one very much at all, which is kind of surprising.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah, because the Miami deal, for whatever you think about it, I think, it just kind of got blown up a little bit too much. Tua was probably, he didn't like the coaching style, but he also came and apologized for it. But he also took that team that was just horrible. I mean, they were losing
terrible
every game. I think they lost the first 7 in a row, then rattled off 7 straight. It was something just insane.
Yeah, crazy.
But
and they still didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, and he got a team that was just completely gutted, had no reason to want to do anything. And he managed to get that team to go on one of the most uncanny winning streaks in the league. That's a guy that, no matter how bad the culture is, he seems to be all right with it. So Flores, just because you need a guy who's going to be able to come in here and be able to take kind of some of the worst of the worst, because this fan base is very just to the breaking point that you're going to hear complaints at everything. Small loss to a really, really good team. You're going to hear the fans complain about how you lost it. Vrabel to me is another good one. I'll be good with either of those guys. Bill Belichick would have been fun, but good luck to him over at UNC. I think I'll just be curious to watch it. I'm not sure if the Bears even really ever offered Bill Belichick the gig at all. All right, with that being said, that's kind of all I got on the NFL and the Chicago Bears and everything going on with those guys right now. We also got shout out Husker volleyball. I think that's probably the next order we need to go in here. Not only do they beat Wisconsin, the morning Peirson-El, they sweep them again. Just brutal for the Badgers.
3 times in a row, baby. That's a dominant performance. That's the type of, expectation going forward and have. This is still a young team. For them to do that and establish their dominance and everything like that, I tip my cap to the ladies and the coaches and the coaching staff and everything like that. They're firing on all cylinders. And I don't want to do anything, but I think the national championship, because they got Penn State coming up, right?
Yeah, it's all ones. It's number 1 Pitt, number 1 Penn State, number 1 Louisville, number 1 Nebraska.
So I think if you get past Penn State, I would say the Natty is as good as ours, honestly.
Ooh. Yeah,
I'm calling it that. Penn State makes me nervous a little bit more than the other two teams.
Yeah, and I will say this. You know what I love about this Husker volleyball team is that they're so good that I don't ever have these ideas when I watch Husker volleyball that I even have the possibility to jinx it. For some reason, if I'm watching the Bears or Husker football, I'll get a little bit paranoid and not want to wish upon them that they win it. Just don't want to jinx it. The Husker volleyball team, for whatever reason, they give me so much confidence in the world that I do think you're right. Penn State is really the game that if they can get through that, I feel really good about them going ahead and closing it out and being national champions. But first, it is that Penn State game, right? Penn State's going to travel really, really well. Down in Louisville, Kentucky for this one. So Marty Peirson-El, you going to be making the trip at all down to a Final Four in Louisville? I'm just curious at this point how many people are heading down there.
No, not this one. Next go around.
Okay, yep. It would be a pretty quick turnaround, right? Because it's a Thursday. I think they play on the 19th. Let me double check here for everybody listening for Husker volleyball. I do want to say, so the 19th. So that would be a quick turnaround. And then if they win, they would get to play on the 22nd for that national championship opportunity. Who's going to be Pitt or Louisville on the other side of that one? I'll ask you this. What's been the most impressive thing about this Nebraska volleyball team this year? Last year was a lot of freshmen, and the multiple of them starting, and you're kind of going through the scenario of a really, really good Husker volleyball team, but is incredibly young. And then this year comes around after they made it to the national championship. Unfortunately, lost to Texas the very tough fashion. But now they're a lot more older. They got some more experience on their hands. And the regular season looked a little similar record-wise to the team of last year, but they are doing some things that are different. The big one really just whatever they got over Wisconsin this year just kind of feels like whatever edge Wisconsin held over Nebraska volleyball, it's completely gone. That's 9 straight sets where Wisconsin just got crushed by Nebraska. So, what to you has been the most impressive thing about this Husker volleyball team?
It's funny looking back, at that loss at Texas and, the confidence and the dominance that they still said that, of getting back there and, that fueled them, I think, this whole season. And, the tenacity that they've played with has been on a different level. You can start early on with handling the criticism from the coach. Early on, where he was flat out saying, they're not where he wants them at to be playing at and everything like that. They accepted the challenge and, turned things up. I know we lost early to SMU, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and SMU was better than everyone realized, and we were kind of the first team to have to go through that gauntlet. But SMU went on to go ahead and sweep a few ranked teams. But, yeah, Nebraska still – that's not a game you can just get swept like that early in the season.
So, with how they attacked this whole offseason, they've been, on a mission early and often. And no matter the challenge, no matter, what people say, with fans attacking players and everything like that, they've answered the bell. And I think that's a testament to, their will, their dedication, their hard work of getting things done and, just continuing to establish and rewrite, record books with things and whatnot. It's just an absolute lovely, beautiful thing to see. And, the passion that they play with, you can put this team up there with some of better teams that have come through that have won national championships at Nebraska and everything like that. Their story is still being written, but they're playing on a different level. And for them to accomplish that with the amount of young players that they have, so that's just what I think has just been the biggest difference from last year is they kind of know and expect, and they kind of, they might have been, messing around a little bit or not taking things serious or, not, as dedicated or whatnot, but they snapped out of it really quick. And I mean, it's been no looking back at all. I mean, they've been kicking doors in and taking names all season, and I love it.
Oh, yeah. Wisconsin doesn't have any doors left. I mean, the whole house is just to shambles. I don't know. That's going to be just a mental mind game for the Badgers in these upcoming years to kind of try to get back on. I don't even want to say Nebraska's level, but it just feels like the mind game because Nebraska was on the other side of that mind where they just, whatever reason, playing Wisconsin, especially at Wisconsin, was just an impossible task. Now it's just kind of flipped where it feels like the Huskers have that advantage over the Badgers, and the Badgers are really struggling to figure out how the hell do we ever beat this Husker volleyball team, especially if we got to play them on the road. The thing that's just, I'll kind of just add on what you're saying. The thing that always impresses me about this volleyball team is they always respond to adversity. Like, we've had years where, the beginning, you've had a couple, maybe even multiple losses where you're really just not sure where this team's going to be. And they haven't obviously all gone on to win a national championship, but they always respond really well. And it's just something that you wish all the programs here had. For whatever reason, a lot of the women's programs here at the university have that. We're not still quite seeing that with the football program, although you do go bowling. We'll talk about men's basketball, but that's just it when it comes to John Cook and the Husker women's volleyball team is, if they have a game where you're really just unimpressed or a little bit just kind of shocked by how unclean it was, it doesn't take very long for them to lure you back in and kind of convince you that they can be that elite caliber team. Because after that loss to, I was at Penn State this year, the next day, I think that was a day or maybe 2 days if they got really lucky. But I'm pretty sure it was less than 24 hours. They turned around and then just swept another Big Ten team to move on. Like, it's just doesn't ever keep this program down very long when they do take a tough loss. With that being said, we'll go ahead, throw it to break here. Wanted to shout out Husker volleyball program down to the Final Four. Do got to point out, unfortunately, Creighton couldn't make it. That would have been more interesting if you could have the Creighton versus Nebraska matchup down there in the Final Four, but it's going to be the Penn State versus Nebraska, and that is this Thursday on the 19th. So we'll throw it to break here. Don't go anywhere. Don't punt tower. Good morning, Peirson-El on the Allo VIP line. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Who wants free diamonds? This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, wanting to thank you all again for your continued service. November is off and running. Check this out. Get up to $12,000 off or 0% financing on select new vehicles. We have great lease specials with new Trax and Trailblazers starting at $299 per month and new Blazer EVs leasing for $399. Great payments, discounts, and of course, 0% financing. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All finance with approved credit, leases with $2,500 down.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger in the mall over a stuffed T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a lame holiday deal, relax in the Black Card Spa with some hydro massage feels. Instead of being trapped at your in-laws, escape to any of our 2,600 Planet Fitness locations. Sign up today for the Planet Fitness Black Card. Just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th. See Club for details.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Early break.
There's quite a situation going on.
What?
Jake's been asked to step away on Fridays from now on.
Yeah,
they want to bring. Young Ben has been dubbed as the curse breaker. He's been dubbed as the curse breaker, and Jake's been asked kindly to step away.
Just for Fridays.
Just
though.
Fridays.
Just Fridays only. Game day only.
Yes.
Game day eve only.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Demorne Peirson-El.
All right, welcome back in at Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got some breaking news, somewhat breaking news, less than an hour old news I want to talk about. But real quick, before we got to get there, we just got to highlight Nebraska basketball dominates in a win over Indiana, the men's basketball team that is. Pretty much start to finish was the Bryce Williams show. He was just on another level to the point to where he wins Big Ten Player of the Week. So big shout out to Bryce Williams. Masterclass performance versus Indiana. Hitting threes. Beautiful mid-range shot, even the mid-range fade. And then just with his length, becomes such a threat anytime he's attacking the rim. Your thoughts on the Huskers, in particular, Bryce Williams? I think he got 29 or 30 points in that game, plus with that Big Ten Player of the Week.
I think it was 30 points. Just an excellent performance. Clearly we see, what they're capable of when, things are hitting and whatnot. But, I think the offense flows through him. He's a good two-way player. It's a Big Ten win. Hopefully continue to build off of this and, do enough and get us in a better position than we were last year.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the Bryce Williams is he has just been awesome this year. Not only because he can get to the free throw line, but when he has that shot going on, like he just has that length and wingspan to be a huge pain in your butt. We see it all the time, and I think it's why it drives me nuts is like people almost discouraging kids from practicing mid-range jumpers. You go look at who are the best players today. I guarantee you they all have a really good mid-range jumping package, whatever you want to call it. For Kobe, LeBron, the players today, even though it's a little bit different, if you're going to watch a Ja Morant, maybe it's not a mid-range, but at least he can drive and throw up a floater and do something in that mid-range area. For Bryce Williams, he's just kind of got that length and size to turn around, fade away. And if he's got a sliver of a window, I mean, he can get that thing up there, and it's such a soft touch where it can just kind of hit the front of the rim and even roll in. Wanted to shout them out. You also got Andrew Morgan, who I know he's coming off the bench, but he's been a huge plus for this Nebraska team. Grabbing 10 rebounds, he's kind of just been that Big Ten center we've really needed for a long time. You got to respect the mold as well. Thoughts on Morgan? He hasn't been talked about a ton. It's been people, I think, were trying to figure out who Braxton Mayo was, but Morgan's been stellar for the Huskers, especially off the bench.
Again, I was about to say football. Basketball, it goes off momentum. It's a game of runs and everything. So having, whether it's your sixth or seventh, man off the bench and everything like that, you have to have a deep bench. And, he's carving out a role. He understands. These are, the pieces that, Hoiberg has been needing and has been plugging and getting. And I mean, you can see it early on, like, his role is going to be increasing. Like you said, it's been a dominant performance of something that has been missing. So continue to build off of that, and hopefully, to the next person or next, see what can happen, and, your role and what your place is, it can take you places. So, I mean, it's still early on, but, I'm absolute like what I'm seeing from him, and, he brings it, and that's what you need.
Yeah, he just it's something about his style that I think if you're just he's one of those guys you love to have him, you hate to go against him. Like, he's just going to be a high energy guy. He's going to crash the boards. He does not care if it's the dirty, not the glamorous stuff. Like, he just does not care. He just wants the basketball. And it's a great guy to have on your team. And again, like, coming off the bench, he's consistently just putting up more rebounds than Maya. But the thing Braxton, he's got a little bit of fouling issues. Like, that's kind of part of the problem for him as the season goes on. If he can get that under control, I mean, he's kind of a freak athlete in himself with that wingspan, but he's a little more athletic than Morgan, to where if he really needs to go up there and contest a shot block, he can't do that. But then just the rest of the guys, like when you have Aaron Ewell, Sam Hoiberg, even Cale Jacobson, I know we've only seen like a sliver of him at times this year, but you just got a bunch of guys that have been in the system, been in the program, and then the guys that have stepped in, your Connor Segens, your Andrew Morgans, your Burke Berukten-Gel, and then you kind of round it up with Booster. Like, all these faces are actually plugging in pretty well this early in the season, and to take an absolute beating to Michigan State like that, and then turn around and beat Indiana, just tells you that this Nebraska team, I think culturally they are figuring something out, because this team, when they come play at home in Pinnacle Bank Arena, good luck beating this Nebraska team. Like, there's something in the Big Ten, in particular, the Big Ten teams that play at home, it's almost unbeatable. And Nebraska, especially, has been unbeatable at home. I can't tell you what the streak is off the top of my head, but it's a long one. And Nebraska basketball, despite the years of never winning an NCAA tournament game, right now has one of the more impressive home court advantages I've seen in a while. We saw that with Creighton and their shooting. We're just seeing Nebraska pick up huge wins at home in PBA. Last year, it was certainly that Purdue game. This year so far, it's been the Creighton game. And then, of course, pick yourself back up versus Indiana. Final thing on this segment, we got to talk some Husker football here. Dante Dowdell looks like he's hitting the portal. That one from Sean Callahan. I don't know if you saw that one yet. The Marty Peirson-El, thoughts on that if we lose the, at one point in time, Oregon transfer, Dante Dowdell?
No, I didn't see that. It's a sad thing because I like him. He was a hard worker. He was a hard runner and everything like that. You hate to see players like that go, but if people think or want more from themselves and think they can get better elsewhere, good luck to you. Like I said, I don't have anything negative to say and everything like that. I don't know if he's mad at how things came down later or whatnot, or did they say, certain things, but we knew, and there's still more to come with, shaving a roster down to 105. So there are going to be a few wrinkles and shock quarter entries that you'll see. That's just kind of the nature of the game. It's sad to see him go, but at the end of the day, it's about who's staying here and who's committed. So wish nothing but the best for you, but I mean, turn our attention to, who's here, who's going to be, preparing, for this bowl game and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's where we're just going to have to wait and see some more. I mean, we'll really know after those first bowl games are done with. The portal, that's when it starts blowing up like crazy. And we'll see. I just, I don't know how that necessarily goes. Like, when guys hit the portal, I'm trying to just think of all the reasons. Like, how many times do you think we'll see it? And if there's any truth to that, where coaches are going to be telling guys, hey, you might want to get in the portal. Because if they're going to get cut, you at least get a head start and try to find a new school. I mean, is that how the conversation goes with the coaches? Like, I'll be honest, I don't know how this whole thing works when it comes to your own coaches kind of advising you to get in the portal.
At the end of each year, you have an evaluation.
Yeah.
That's nothing new. You hear back from your head coach, you hear back from your position coach and everything like that. So as far as telling them, you're going in a different direction, there's no longer a spot for you here. I mean, that's not an easy thing to hear, especially, I feel, sorry for some of those freshmen that, redshirted that year and had the promise of longevity. And then this situation, kind of happens and everything like that. And they didn't really, they ended in the portal with 4 years and no film versus, veteran guys with film. So, it's not an easy conversation, but I would assume it's something like, we're on this time, you're on that time. And I understand, when dudes were transferring, back when before the transfer portal and everything like that, dudes had to leave for whatever reasons and whatnot. Coaches aren't, blocking them. They're giving them, the tools to what they need to. If you want a, recommendation or you need anybody for me to, speak out, people can contact unless, it's just bad blood or something like that. But, it just pretty much will go, the team is headed in this direction and, it's no longer pretty much, fit into that picture. That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of where we're at, I'm just always curious about how this thing's going to continue to evolve. But yeah, the 105 roster limit.
Go ahead. I would think, some of these kids, know what's coming. You know what I mean? I feel like
the ones kind of know where you're at on the team, right? Like some of the guys probably can figure out, like I'm probably in that 120 to 130 area where they kind of know it's, even if the coach doesn't say, hey, maybe hit the portal, or like they might be cut off the roster.
It's not an easy thing. But the players have to have, some understanding or some knowledge. One, they knew, everybody in college football knew this was coming. So, it's not catching anybody off by shock or anything like that. Now, a few, cuts might, catch people off guard or whatnot. But, if you were playing around at practice, not serious and everything like that, and wasn't really working, you made it easier for the coaches. Like, you not, taking things serious, So, I'm pretty sure a lot of these players have been under evaluation since, fall camp, coming in to really, who wants to really be here, who really wants to partake in, get better in what things, and, who has I don't want to say a higher ceiling, but more potential. And it's sad it has to be like that, but, it wasn't really too much of a time to joke and go out there because you knew cuts were coming. So, some of these coaches might have just kept more so consistent guys who were in the same ship. Or, evaluating the same guys, and whoever was more consistent, more reliable, they went with that.
It's a great point. These guys have been getting evaluated for a while. Like, I think you nailed it with that one. Like, who knows what, spreadsheet they got. How many of these coaches have kind of just had this stuff already kind of tuned in all year to where it wasn't taking their focus, but keeping up with an understanding that you're right. They did know what was coming. So for some coaches, they might have a really good idea already as soon as the season ended, how they're going to get to that 105, which guys they know they absolutely want to keep, and which guys that maybe throughout the course of the season, of course, some things are going to happen, change up your plans. But I think you're definitely right. They've been evaluated. Coaches probably have a pretty good idea on which guys they think need to go and which guys they need to retain. With that being said, we'll throw it to a quick break here. Then we'll finally wrap up. We'll talk about Arrowhead Stadium, not because of the Kansas City Chiefs, but because the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They might be playing a game there versus the Bengals, not the Bengals, Cincinnati. I got all these teams mixed up here. I'm just thinking Chiefs, Bengals. No, Huskers in Cincinnati down there at Arrowhead next season. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling here. Don't Punt Hour, one more segment on the other side.
Who wants free diamonds? This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to thank you all again for your continued service. November is off and running. Check this out. Get up to $12,000 off or 0% financing on select new vehicles. We have great lease specials with new Trax and Trailblazers starting at $299 per month, and new Blazer EVs leasing for $399. Great payments, discounts, and of course, 0% financing. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All finance with approved credit, leases with $2,500 down.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger in the mall over a stuffed T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a lame holiday deal, relax in the Black Card Spa with some hydro massage feels. Instead of being trapped at your in-laws, Escape to any of our 2,600 Planet Fitness locations. Sign up today for the Planet Fitness Black Card. Just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th. See Club for details.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Early break.
There's quite a situation going on.
What?
Jake's been asked to step away on Fridays from now on. They want to bring young Ben has been dubbed as the curse breaker. He's been dubbed as the curse breaker, and Jake's been asked kindly to step away.
Just for Fridays.
Just Fridays.
Just Fridays only.
Game
day only. Game day eve only.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Peirson-El.
All right, welcome back in. A final segment, Don't Punt Hour. Got the host, as always, Peirson-El on the Outlaw VIP line, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. As I look behind me and see the NFL score, nothing changes. The Bears still have not scored. 10-0. A little bit left here to go in the second quarter. Vikings leading it. And to wrap things up here, Husker football has officially announced that they will be hosting the Cincinnati Bearcats, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers will meet at a neutral site game in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. Interesting. You don't always get to match up against Cincinnati Bearcats. And also, on top of that, being at Arrowhead Stadium. Good morning, Peirson-El. Your thoughts on Troy Dannon? Go ahead and pushing that one through. Gets it approved.
That is not a neutral site. That is not a neutral site at all. It's going to be exciting for those guys going into an NFL locker room and everything like that. I think the only time that I really got to experience the NFL locker room before going was bowl game. So that's going to be there. Travis Kelce's going to be in the house because he's an alum.
Mm-hmm.
So Mahomes and all of them will be there. Hopefully that game gets sold out, and let's see, how loud Nebraska fans can make that. But it's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a good atmosphere. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's just got a lot of narratives to it. Obviously, you're going to have the Dylan Raiola, Mahomes connection. You'll probably see the quote-unquote photo op, those guys chatting it up. You're going to have Travis Kelce probably rooting for, rooting for Cincinnati, and then you're certainly going to see Patrick Mahomes probably rooting for Nebraska, so you'll see those guys probably going back and forth. There's just a lot of narratives. On top of that, I just do think it's interesting. We'll get to play Luke Fickell's alma mater, who up at Wisconsin is going to have a hell of a team. I'll tell you right now, I bet you Luke Fickell still wishes he was the coach of that Cincinnati team, especially looking down the barrel of what that 2025 schedule is going to look like for the Wisconsin Badgers. But an interesting one. I kind of like it. Again, for Husker fans, like that's a really nice travel, just going to Kansas City, Arrowhead. Like that's something that people do pretty regularly anyways, especially if they're Chiefs fans. So travel-wise, it's nice. I'd imagine it's going to be kind of a crazy scene, though. What's the capacity of Arrowhead? The morning, if you know it off the top of your head there, or at least a rough number.
I know it's over 100K, or it's around 100K.
Does Nebraska pull that off?
I think so. I mean, it is in a different city. You got Mizzou fans, K-State fans, Jayhawk fans, or whatnot. But that's a close enough, that's a close enough game where I think people will make that happen and whatnot. It'll be fun. A little bit upset, it's supposed to be a home game, but it's not really a home game for us. But nevertheless, it should still be fun. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that will get done. I think it will. I trust Nebraska fans coming off of a decent year 3, year 2 of Raiola, of getting things going on after fall camp, spring ball, and drinking all the Kool-Aid. I think fans are going to be, foaming out the mouth to get to that game.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be fun. It's going to be intriguing to see what the prices get, too. Because that sounds one, man, I would love to go and check that one out. Obviously, we'll have something with a ticket. We'll be doing something. We'll probably send some guys down there to Kansas City itself. But that is a game where it sounds perfect. You're probably going to sell it out. I'd imagine they give that sellout streak continue it. And even try to sell out Arrowhead. I don't know. Those ticket prices are going to be incredibly high, I can imagine. And then just the downtown scene. The Light District, nice spot. I don't know how packed that's going to be with all the Husker fans there on top of everything else. But very cool. It is official that 2025 Husker football season opener, they have moved the location from Indianapolis to now it is Kansas City playing in Arrowhead. Peirson-El, appreciate the time as always. We'll wrap it up here with that news of the Husker football team opening up 2025 in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll dive in to some more Husker news, talk about some of the more intriguing guys in the portal, because we have landed some pretty big transfers as well. So appreciate it as always, but don't go anywhere. Uncut with Cal Perry up next.